A very warm welcome to StudyIQ, my dear friends. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you all are doing good. Today is 28th November 2020. Day is Saturday. We have 5 important articles on our table. The first one is about farmers' protest. Second one, battling corruption. Third one is about India versus China. India banned 43 Chinese apps. Well, half full, and the last one is about COVID-19 vaccine, and the last one is about India and its neighborhood. Dear friends, if you are preparing for UPSC exams, then we have a dedicated smart course. It will cover your prelims as well as mains examination. This smart course is designed by some of the best faculties of our country. Till 30th November, EMI offer is also available. So to find out more about our smart course, all you have to do is download StudyIQ Education's mobile app on your phone. To download the PDF of today's lecture, which is already available on my Telegram channel, all you have to do is visit my Telegram channel. Follow me on Facebook as well. Please make sure that you hit the like button, share this lecture with other students, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Dear friends, yesterday we saw this big farmers' protest, right? Delhi Chalo campaign by farmers is going on, and the main reason is they are not happy with this latest farm laws. Today we are going to talk about some deep points that are associated with this protest. Why farmers are not happy with the latest farm laws. Right? There are a few points that I would like to discuss with you guys. Now, first of all, you have to keep this thing in mind that no political party in our country is powerful enough to take farmers lightly. Because farmers make up 60% of our country's population. 60%, roughly speaking, or you can say roughly speaking 55% of our country's population. So, a voter base that no political party can ignore or mess about with. Now, who gained what except from being exposed to a large super spreader risk? Farmers are well aware about COVID-19. We all are well aware about COVID-19, but then as well, they were braving these cannons and they were, marching ahead. So this itself indicates that farmers are not happy with these farm laws. Now, there are of course, good things in farm laws, but there are a few things that government needs to sort it out. Government claims that these farm laws will help farmers get better prices for their crops and allow them access to wider markets. Let me throw some more light on this particular point. The problem, or one of the biggest challenge that our farmers face is that they buy everything in retail, and they have to sell their produce in wholesale price. So let's say this is F, right? F stands for farmer. And here you have your final customer. Okay? So you have middleman. You have big chain. Your supply chain is quite big. So a farmer will produce things and he will sell it to APMC, let's say. They will sell it to someone else, again someone else, and this is how it works, right? It's not necessary you have 4 or 5 steps, so it can be 2 steps or 3 steps. But the supply chain, there are people between farmer and consumer. So the more people you have, the more points you have in your chain, your profit is going to go down. Eventually, customer is going to pay a very high price and farmer is going to get a very small chunk of his hard work, means a small amount of profit. So this is the biggest issue that farmers have faced so far. So the government, with the help of this farm laws, is trying to get rid of this APMC. What government is trying to do is, government's main intention is to allow or to put options in front of a farmer. So if a farmer feels that he is not getting enough from APMC, he can sell it on ENAM. And if he feels like someone else without any registration with him, if a trader is ready to purchase this produce of farmer If he's ready to give higher money compared to APMC and ENAM, then farmer will have that option as well. So that's what government is trying to achieve here. Point number one. Point number two, this itself indicates that you have access to wider markets. So chances of you getting higher money goes up. Now, why farmers are not happy with this option? Why farmers are, means farmers should be happy about this thing, isn't it? The biggest issue is that farmers feel that government is going to get rid of minimum support price. This is the biggest fear of farmers, right? And the problem is that the government of India took it a bit arrogantly, to be honest. The government of India should have discussed things in detail with farmers. The opposition to farm laws could have been avoided had the government preferred a standing committee scrutiny over the pushing the law unceremoniously with a voice vote in upper house. So this was a gift for opposition. Opposition parties said that, look, farmers, what central government is doing, it is bringing out laws, it is not ready to discuss these things, and this is going to take away MSP from you and things like that. And today farmers believe that MSP will die one day, MSP will die in near future. So this is their number one fear. The reality is that government is not going to get rid of MSP, but farmers feel that the government is going to get rid of MSP. So the fault is of government here and not farmers. Government should discuss things with farmers and assure them that nothing like that will happen. Second thing, farmers are wary of corporatization implicit in this acts and argue that they could cheated out of a fair price. And I don't blame farmers here. See, government is trying to promote contract farming. Government is trying to create this supply chain, like farmers can directly sell its produce or their produce to big corporates like Reliance, McDonald. Then you have one more, isn't it? Walmart, for example, or any other super chain, right? Supermarket. They can buy things in bulk from farmers directly, and they can pay good price, and they will place their orders in advance. Like let's say Reliance Retail will tell farmers that we need this much tons of sugar cane or wheat or rice or whatever, So farmers, they know that next year they need this much, that Reliance requires this much or this quality of this particular product, so they can feel safe about it. They know that their customer is waiting for this much amount of this particular product, etc. But farmers feel that now government is going to get rid of APMC. On the other side, government is going to get rid of MSP. So farmers will be left with only one option, and that is corporates. And corporates will have their own monopoly. Like, for example, PepsiCo sued farmers in Gujarat. So this was a big blow for farmers. On the other side, you see this sugarcane sector. Farmers are still waiting for the money that sugarcane factories they own to farmer. So they have to clear this due, when farmers they have not received this money yet. So few bad experiences regarding this corporate and contract farming are also big hurdles, or that they are not this bad experiences are like a scar, psychological scars in the head of farmer. The fear that market yards would be abolished, this point I have already explained. Now the thing is, farmers, they have good cordial relation with traders, right? So now government is saying that any person with a PAN card can buy things directly from farmers. So APMC, yes, it will get weak, but now these traders, they say that today you will sell your items to this new person or new trader, right? He or she will pay you a bit higher, but day will come when these people will not be there, and at that point of time we will not buy things from you because today you are not supporting us and things like that, So this sort of thing is also going on. One more point that I don't like about farmers is this thing, that besides they want direct payment and not through banks. The reason why they don't want payment through banks and the reason why they are opposing digital payment is because if they will get money in their bank account, then they cannot escape or they cannot demand farm loan waiver. So here farmers, they need to understand that farm loan waiver is not a permanent solution. In fact, a few days ago in Daily Financial News Analysis, I have explained why this farm loan waiver is bad or it is not effective. A state government will announce a farm loan waiver, let's say of 10,000 crore rupees, but it will take 3-4 years for that government to release the amount. And so far we have seen that, roughly speaking, 50% amount is only disbursed. Then you have some other topic later on. So everyone forgets about that farm loan waiver. And farm loan waiver is given to a farmer who has borrowed money from a formal source. If you have borrowed money from your relative, then that will not be covered under farm loan waiver. So small farmers, they never get any sort of benefit of this farm loan waiver. So farm loan waiver is not a good thing. So, you need to pay. And if you are borrowing money, then it is your ethical duty, and it is important for our economy as well that you pay, that you pay your loan, you service your loan, right? This culture of taking money and not giving back is not healthy at all. Then agriculture-related issues come under the state list in Schedule 7 of our Constitution. And this is the biggest mistake done by central government. Central government should have done what Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government did. This Model Agricultural Produce Marketing Regulation Act was given to the states for adoption in 2003 by Atal Bihari Vajpayee government, and it was not a forced government. State governments were educated and they were made part of this decision-making process by telling them that, see, this is our Model Agriculture Produce Marketing Regulation Act, APMC Act, and we want you to go through it and take the best bits and then implement it and things, So that's what the government, Atal Bihari Vajpayee government did. And here we find that this government, our central government has not discussed things with state governments. In fact, central government has not informed farmers or took farmers in confidence or informed farmers. So this is the reason why they are not happy with it. So I see one solution here, and the biggest thing that government can do is to notify, to assure farmers that MSP will not become a history, that government will continue MSP. There is no plan of removing an MSP, and government should also say that if you do transaction via APMC, if you do it on ENAM, if you sell it to a person who has just got a PAN card, right, and if it's a new trader, you do your transaction anywhere, you should get minimum MSP, you should get minimum support price. Transaction will not be allowed below MSP. If government can promise this thing, and if government can educate farmers about this thing, then I think farmers will be more than happy to support these new farm laws. Moving on to next item, battling corruption. Transparency International's latest report. Now, first of all, let me ask you a question. Tell me, where is the headquarter in which city you find the headquarter of Transparency International? Stick your answer in the comment section now. Transparency International has said that in its latest report that India has the highest bribery rate in Asia. It's a matter of shame for us, isn't it? That our society is number one when it comes to bribery in Asia. And I know this thing, and we all know this thing. I don't think so I have to give any explanation on this particular article. All you have to do is observe things around you. If you want to file an FIR. You will, trying to find a person who knows you, who is in police department, and then you will try to, go via that person. If you want to get something from your municipality, or even if your street light lamp is gone, then you will contact someone who is familiar, or who if you have relation with that person, some sort of personal connection. And bureaucrats, I'm not talking about just IAS officer, I'm talking about everyone, right? When I say everyone, I'm talking about, generally speaking, most of the people. We find this culture in government office that things are very complex. Things are very complex. You need to, they have their own slow speed of working. And if you want them to, sort out your thing, in a speedy way, then you have to give some sort of shifarish and Peiravi, or they call it chadava, and these are the local terms. That you have to put some weight on their palm. You have to give them some money. And this is very unfortunate. This is very bad thing. It's not professional at all. And this is not going to end unless and until we make things a bit more simple. Technology is good thing, but technology cannot solve everything. People, they know how to cheat technology as well. Like, in few offices, what they do now is your mobile phone, you have to register your mobile phone, and then they have created this system in government offices that, people used to, press the thumb to enter and exit, or use a card to enter and exit, but people used to cheat. So now government has came out with this thing that your mobile phone will be traced. So what they are doing now in some offices, they're buying a second mobile phone, and what they do is they keep that mobile phone over there, and that's it. So technology, I'm not saying is bad. Technology has solved so many problems. It's good, but just technology is not enough. We need to change this culture where this is our right. We are paying tax, we are voting, and we are doing so many things. As a citizen, these are the things that and those people who are working in government offices, they get salary to help us, right? That's why they are there for. I'm not being arrogant here. What I'm saying is that's a reality. So make processes as simple as possible. People should know how much time. If you let's say if you have filed for an Aadhaar card, then you should know how the process takes place, and you should have a complete chart that this is step number 1, 2, 3, and 4 and things. But still we have this procedural bottlenecks, and complexity is one of the, it's a problem for us, but it is beneficial for those corrupt people. They can delay stuff and they can make money out of this complex process. That's how it works in our country, unfortunately. Tech tact. This one is about India and China. India has banned 43 Chinese mobile apps. So far we have been blocked for 250 plus Chinese apps, and this is because of this LSE issue. Now, as far as LSE issue is concerned, agreement for disengagement is still, we have not finalized one agreement. Discussions are still going on. We are struggling both sides to sort out things. Now, it's very interesting that China has said that this is a sort of discrimination. China has not allowed Facebook. China has not allowed Twitter. China has not allowed so many other American or some other nations' websites and this sort of apps and things. And now China is telling us that this is a bit of discrimination. Then it's very ironical, isn't it? The other thing that I would like to highlight here is that I don't blame China. Seriously, I don't blame China for collecting this sort of information and doing, because we are reactive. We have, for a very long period of time, right, even today, we don't have a proper, robust data protection law. So if you don't have a fence, right? If you have a beautiful house and if you have a beautiful garden, but if you don't have a fence, then you cannot blame animals if they are coming and destroying your garden. It is your responsibility to create a fence. So data protection is like a fence. When you don't have a fence, then this is what will happen with you. The other thing is, I have this question as well in my mind that just imagine if this LSC issue would not have happened, then I don't think so we would ever talk about or think about this threat and taking away our data and things. This is only because we have this LSC issue, our government is concerned about this data protection and things. So, okay, it's fine if government is banning Chinese apps, but are we able to create some alternatives? And we are just doing what? We are going to copy paste, isn't it? If they have banned PUBG, then we have come out with this 4G. If we have banned their some other, I don't play games, so I don't know their names that much. Let's say Alipay or something. Then after that we will come out with something. So here as well we have to understand we are not a leader, we are followers. We have this potential to become a leader, but we are follower, and that is a matter of concern. This is something that gives me heartache. I don't feel good about this thing, that we have best people in the world when it comes to software and designing apps and things, and still we are not able to do it. Something is wrong here. Moving on, a whale half full. After a spate of successes in vaccines being tested in human trials, there is now a bleep. This AstraZeneca Oxford University vaccine, there is a problem with its manufacturing. Now, there is a very intriguing data coming out about its efficacy. I'm going to use a rough example, hypothetical example, to throw some more light on this thing. I'm sure you know this fact that this vaccine will be administered in 2 doses, right? So let's imagine that the first dose will be of 10 ml, right? Roughly speaking. And the second dose will be of 10 ml as well, right? This is how they are going to do it. But now just imagine that if one person is given the first dose of 5 ml, same medicine but 5 ml, and the second dose of 5 ml, then normally we will think that this group is going to get maximum recovery. But it's quite intriguing that when a subgroup was given half dose full, we found 90% efficacy. And the group that was given full, this 10 ml, for example, dose, right? We found 62% efficacy. So this is very interesting. It is also known as a prime boost. Prime boost is like vaccine makers and immunologists are aware of this prime boost technique, where a limited dose of a vaccine is administered that prepares the immune system, and a later shot then improves the overall production of protective antibodies. So this is something interesting coming out of this experiment. But one thing that we have to keep in mind is that there is no point of being in haste. Too much haste is also not great or not good. It will expose us to make more mistakes, and that's what is happening with so many vaccines. So haste and opacity will only delay the availability of a safe and efficacious vaccine. Moving on to next item, reaching out. This one is from Indian Express, and today is the last article. So our 3 top officials. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar is in Seychelles. He was in Bahrain and UAE. Now he is in Seychelles. National Security Advisor in Sri Lanka and Foreign Secretary in Nepal. So here is Seychelles, here is Sri Lanka, of course, and this is Nepal, and we talked about Bahrain and UAE a few days ago, so this is not new for you guys. Now this is interesting that we are reaching out to various different neighboring countries. In last few months, Foreign Secretary has also made trips to Dhaka and Malé, that is Maldives and Bangladesh. And at present, LSC issue is going on between India and China. So it looks like we are trying to woo and we are trying to refresh our relationship with these nations, these neighboring countries. For a very long period of time, we took this relationship with these neighboring countries for granted. We were not paying that much attention, and because we have these cultural ties and all established ties, we say that things are going to be, refreshed, or things are going to be young forever. But then we saw that these tiny nations' demands and their needs and requirements changed as well. And a deep-pocketed China was found everywhere here. So that was a sort of wake-up call for our country, and then we started engaging with these nations. The biggest hurdle with our image, the biggest problem these nations find with India is that we are good with them, right? We have never cheated them. They trust us. But the problem is that they feel that, and they are right as well, that we don't deliver, or we cannot complete our projects on time. They are always delayed, and there are hurdles and things. So this is a very bad thing for our country's image, and we need to change this thing. This is China's expertise, to be honest. China will sort out things very quickly. They will complete their projects in time, and we are not able to do that thing. So we need to do it, and this is the only problem, the biggest problem. There are other tiny little bit here and there, but they are not that important as far as project delivery is concerned. If we can handle that, then I think these nations will be more than happy to stay with us and work with us. We know big changes took place in Maldives as well. There was pro-China government, but now we have a pro-India government. As far as Sri Lanka is concerned, they have this pro-China government. Rajapaksa brothers are famous or known for, if you go through their history, then they have this inclination towards China. At present, we are trying to repair our relationship with Nepal, because we had this cartographic or map adventure issue, or this, Lipu Lake issue with Nepal. So, Mr. Stringla is over there. So, it's basically a trip to sort out things with Nepal. So far, things are okay, good, but our top officials, top players are in various different countries that are nearby India or in our neighborhood or extended neighborhood, indicates that these nations are important for us, and relationship is important for us as well. I've already shared the PDF of today's lecture, so please download the PDF and go through these news items, and I will see you with daily financial news analysis. And tomorrow, no Hindu lectures, right? As far as Hindu lectures are concerned, now I will directly meet you on Monday. Till then, enjoy your studies. God bless you all. Jai Hind.